I've always had a love for sustainability, a love for tiny spaces. From a very young age, I was living kind of off-grid in a sustainable lifestyle. So we've designed and built a variety of different structures across the country and worldwide. Today we're in the Grove Tiny Homes, which are a family compound. We wanted to do something that had never been done before. In this tiny home, we have the queen bed and these two gorgeous round windows. And then right here, we have the big garage door that swings open. And you do a little dance while you're waiting for the door to open. Small space and tiny house design is obviously a huge challenge when you're trying to fit a lot in a small space. I think one of the benefits of small spaces though is that it actually drives you to think more through the design process, and everything that's in the house is really intentional. This is the Grove 24, the smaller of the two tiny homes. Come on in.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
I grew up in a yurt with a family of 6, so from a very young age I was living kind of off-grid in a sustainable lifestyle. I've always had a love for sustainability, a love for tiny spaces, and that's part of what drew me to develop this company, Artistree Home. I'm Beilharz, founder of Artistree Home. We design luxury tree houses, tiny homes, and other micro-architecture. So we've designed and built a variety of different structures across the country and worldwide. Some of the most notable ones are a project called Cypress Valley right outside of Austin, Texas. That's an amazing treehouse resort and wedding event space. And the first treehouse that we built there was a yurt to honor the family memory of where I grew up. There's one project called the Phoenix House, which is a tiny house that's out on an old cooled lava bed right at the base of Kilauea. And then today we're in the Grove Tiny Homes, which are a family compound here in Malibu, California. It's a set of 2 tiny homes that were done to the umpteenth degree of sustainability and luxury. We have 2 Grove tiny homes. This one is the larger model, and this one's 350 square feet. And then the smaller model that we're going to be going into is around 215 square feet. There are a lot of tiny homes out there that look like cottages, and those are amazing too, but we wanted to do something that had never been done before. So these can be moved out into the wilderness where there's no power needed, or they can be utilized as a guest house in the backyard. This is the Grove 24, the smaller of the 2 tiny homes. Come on in. In this tiny home, we have the queen bed and these 2 gorgeous round windows. It was super fun having the guys build out the window trim for these windows. And then we have a alder wood kind of backing that rounds around. This is one of the light fixtures that we did that was one of the custom ones. We just couldn't find the right light fixture, so that one was the one that we chose. All right, so come check out the living room. We did kind of a small love seat style living room for this tiny house since it's only 24 feet long. We wanted to have something that was nice and comfortable, but not too large for the space. The other thing about these tiny homes is we put a Mitsubishi mini split in it, so super high efficiency. And one of the things that we also did was we put an ERV system in. The ERV actually acts as an energy ventilator, so it basically modulates temperature and humidity in and outside of the house. So the AC unit almost never comes on. The ERV does most of the work, and it's a super high efficiency, low energy cost unit. In here, we've got a little storage unit. We did all kind of maple and alder wood in here, so very light color texture. And then finally in this unit, we did a subway tile, kind of tea station, kitchenette here. And we did a hammered steel, stainless steel sink with the bay laurel. That's a local harvested bay laurel from California. And these are the same shelving material here. And then next through here, we have the bathroom. We've got a concrete sink right here, kind of beautiful blue tile backsplash. So one of the cool things about the shower, we did a wood grain tile in here We also even did shower alcoves. So this is like high-end luxury shower, but in a tiny house. We even did a linear floor drain, which was kind of unique for most of the tiny houses I've seen. And then here's the infamous incinerating toilet, Cinderella. When we knew the family was gonna maybe take these out off grid, they wouldn't have septic systems. So what we did is we designed a Cinderella incinerating toilet into the house. So actually all of the waste gets incinerated in 60 minutes, and then you can just toss the ash out on the ground. The Grow tiny homes were designed to be portable and movable and to be like an off-grid family compound. So right now they reside in Malibu, but they can be driven anywhere in the US. This is the heater for the hot water system. We used a heat pump system, which is super energy efficient, all electric, and works really well. And this is the blower for that. And then we also have the Mitsubishi HVAC that I mentioned from the inside. This is the fan or blower unit for that. So all of the Grove tiny homes kind of come with this off-grid, move as you go energy system. So this is the Grove 40, the bigger of the two tiny homes. Come check it out. One of the first things you notice about this tiny home is how big it is and how much storage it has. You lead into the living room. We did kind of an ample space living room with lots of kind of cozy seating areas, as well as these different bookshelf nooks underneath the staircase. The flooring is a Tesoro hardwood flooring that's actually made from recycled hardwoods. And then right here we have the big garage door that swings open. And this was really part of the concept to bring the outdoors in, right? Connecting people with nature, having a very indoor-outdoor feel. So when you're entertaining guests at this tiny home, or you're kind of parked in a beautiful setting, you can really enjoy that. Let me show you how it works. So it takes a minute for the hydraulics to open the door all the way, but it's amazing. You've got a screen that also comes down and you can really experience the outdoors. And you do a little dance while you're waiting for the door to open. Ta-da! Check this out. It also kind of doubles as like a porch, you know, covered porch area. It's also a pretty big engineering challenge because these hydraulic things, we didn't want to have a big rolling garage door inside that impeded kind of the head height. So we had to do a bunch of steel framing around this wall. Super cool. And then if we go up these stairs, you'll see the bedroom. So in this space, we decided to do a king bed. So this is like walk around both sides, which is pretty unique for tiny homes. A lot of times tiny homes have kind of like beds pushed up against walls, you gotta climb over. So that was a big element that we wanted, was access to both sides of the bed. We also did the same kind of beautiful alder wood paneling that goes around and wraps underneath the bed frame. And then there's these beautiful arched windows that kind of give you a view of whatever is nearby the tiny home. In this case, it's the beautiful Malibu hills. Okay, so here we have a full kitchen. This was a big part of the design. These two tiny homes were originally meant to be side by side. So this would be the area that the family could prepare food. We did like a beautiful white subway tile on the backsplash, floating bay laurel shelves here, full-size farmhouse sink, which is also quite rare to see in a tiny home. We also have a pass-through window here. So this is a cool concept. So when you're like grilling or making food, you can pass it outdoor and have like an indoor-outdoor living concept for the dining as well. The Grove 40 can be pulled up and have a variety of different decks that kind of connect to it. So here we did an outdoor deck concept so people could have like a bar seating here, someone cooking in the kitchen could hang out with the kids, or somebody right outside. We did alder cabinets down here underneath. At the end of the kitchen, we have the Miele induction electric cooktop. And so this was a really fancy range that we put in here to be able to cook off grid. So when this is hooked up to the battery bank, it can actually run without any gas. And then you have your induction kind of venting hood here for your range, and then your kitchen over here. We did a lot of kind of storage, dry storage, so you can really stock up and have all the things you need as you're on the road. And then if you move over to the dining area, this is custom made out of bay laurel. And then we have more bay laurel here as the dining area. We did kind of a dinette bench so that you could sit here. This could also be like a working station for like an office, or it could also fit about 6 people around it for dining. And then we have the Mitsubishi, same kind of style of HVAC mini split here, and the ERV system, which is really keeping the mini split from ever having to turn on, using very little power for that. So that was super cool. So this bathroom is quite spacious for a tiny house. We did kind of a concrete style vanity with an alder cabinet underneath. Again, the same incinerating toilet so that the waste system can be used anywhere off grid. And then we have a full-size shower over here with a wood grain tile, little nooks, and then the linear slot drain or floor drain, just like the other one. We always want to maximize all the space and make it usable. So there's a storage closet for linens and things back behind this door. One of the other things in the bathroom, and really in every house that we build, we wanted to have some view into nature. So we even put a window back here so that when you're in the bathroom, you can get a lot of natural light, and it also just helps feel like you're outside. Small space and tiny house design is obviously a huge challenge when you're trying to fit a lot in a small space. I think one of the benefits of small spaces though is that it actually drives you to think more through the design process, and everything that's in the house is really intentional. We were going to use no liquid propane, we were going to use no gas fixtures, we were only going to use electric, and we were also going to design in such a way that we could put these trailers off grid and actually power them with solar and a battery bank. So that really informed a lot of the design choices that we made, from the type of insulation we used. The hemp wool in the insulation that we used is actually mold resistant. So that was a big proponent. We wanted to create the healthiest tiny home we could that would be really good for the family that we were building it for.